separated at birth, found each other through Google searches. Tyler and Franky B. One brother grew up hiding in alleys, the other grew up in the Silicon Valley. It's Tyler and Franky B. Who'd ever guess how the story would end? Thanks to Google, they're the best of friends, identical twins as clear as can be. Prepare yourself for hilarity. It's Tyler and Franky B. Oh, the comedy with Tyler and Franky B.
I have a brother.
$1.87. That's all Tyler could muster to buy his brother Franky a present. And the next day would be Christmas. He'd been saving his pennies for months, since the housing market had dried up in Mount Pleasant and borrowing against his equity was no longer an option. There was nothing to do but flop down on his couch and cry. So that's what Tyler did. He cried and cried and cried and cried. Okay, Tyler, I think that's enough crying.
Sorry.
Tyler finished his crying, then stood by the window and looked out at Franky, who was working on his car. Well, sort of. Tyler noticed Franky's jacket was looking dry and crackled.
That's it,
exclaimed Tyler.
I'll buy Franky some leather oil, making his jacket good as new.
Tyler insisted that only the best oil would do, but the best leather oils are imported from Italy and cost $900 a bottle.
What could I sell to have enough money to buy such a gift?
Thought Tyler. Meanwhile, Franky had a dilemma all his own. He had just been laid off from the Jiffy Lube, and his pockets were thinner than a runway model on the cover of Vogue.
What could I get Tyler for Christmas this year?
His mind began conjuring up some crazy ideas. Try something Tyler might enjoy, Franky.
Right.
That's a fruitcake, Franky. Nobody likes fruitcakes. That would be the color blue. Come on now, you're not even trying. Let me help, son. A Pentium E1000 single-core processor with 1 megabyte of L2 cache. Yes, Franky's idea was great, and Tyler's too. After all, the virtue of compassion is caring enough to do something about someone else's need. There were two possessions of much value in the Tyler and Franky B household. One was Franky's leather jacket that had been passed down 4 generations. The other was Tyler's computer. Why, had Bill Gates designed a computer this glitch-free, Macintosh would have never made a comeback. So with the virtue of compassion in mind, Tyler made a decision. He logged on to eBay and set his reserve. He clicked submit and waited to see if anyone would bid. And bid they did, one after another, and then the auction ended right at $900. The next morning, as the Christmas sun rose, they sat before the tree, 2 excited bros.
How? How could you afford a gift for me? Oh no, Franky, say it isn't so.
Yep, I sold my jacket. It's the least I could do to buy a gift for a brother like you.
Then Franky's excitement could be held back no longer. He took his gift and opened with haste. In it was the $900 bottle of Italian oil. And then it hit Franky. Only one item in Tyler's possession could have been sold to purchase such a prize. Yes, they had both given all they had, and now each gift was useless. They cried, they laughed, they cried, they laughed, but in the end they did more laughing than crying, for in the end their hearts were glad. You should know our brothers did not sit around. They went to the pawn shop and made one final sale. They sold the oil and the processor too, and bought a pair of skates, shiny and new. With hearts full, they made memories at lightning speed, because each brother cared about the other brother's need. The end.
Oh, I got a brand new